Hey guys, Thomas Grabowski here. Hope you're having an awesome day. I'm just jumping on here today to kind of share some little tips with you guys when it comes to muscle building. Now, I really love this topic because it's something that's really changed my life in a positive way. And it's something that's been very confusing for me and something that I haven't very much really understand the process of building muscle, especially coming from a background of being kind of a skinny, lanky guy. And again, there's nothing wrong with being skinny or lanky, agree or disagree. But I always found myself like very underweight and I didn't like the way it looked. So I decided to start lifting weights around 16 to 18, 19, but I wasn't really making the progress I wanted, right? I did make some gains, but I really didn't find out my chest filled out and my back didn't develop. My arms and my shoulders got big, but my chest and my back was always kind of like my weak spots. I had actually a pretty decent back at one point, but my chest was always super underdeveloped. Um, but anyways, I just wanted to share some. So I think when it comes to working out, you have to really be mindful of the movements you're choosing, but at the same time, you have to be careful that you're not overdoing it and also that you're not underdoing it. So there's like this sweet spot when it comes to training. And if you can continuously hit that sweet spot on a good day, that sweet spot will be a little higher. On a shitty day or kind of a low day or a low energy day or high stress day, that workout may actually be a little bit less. But if you're keeping your, you know, if you're keeping your other lifestyle factors in check, like proper nutrition, sleep, meditation, um, any kind of relaxation um, strategies that you implement in your life, those will greatly improve your gains. Also, water and also having a positive mindset also helps. So there are definitely different elements to a good workout and a good gains. But what I primarily wanted to talk about today was how to stimulate muscle growth. And this may or may not be controversial. I don't know, because I don't really know what other people are going to think of this, because I do value other people's opinions. But again, some people just don't know what they're talking about, and some people just think they know what they're talking about, but they don't. Um, and for me personally, it's a kind of a oversimplification because some people will say they know what they're talking about, but they have there's no proof in the pudding, so to speak. Like they may say, hey, do this, and this, but like what they're doing isn't working for them. So like people who say and give you different advice, but don't see any results as a result of their own advice are probably people you shouldn't be really listening to. So I'm not trying to bash anybody, but you have to understand that if somebody's trying to give you advice, but they have nothing to back up what they're saying, then what they're saying shouldn't be even considered. It should be probably thrown in the trash can because it's not a valid argument or valid source of evidence for making progress. So here are my tips and strategies that I'd like to share with you guys in terms of gaining muscle and getting bigger and getting more jacked. Now, this strategy is not perfect. It's just a strategy that you can implement. This is what works for me. Now, if you're what people typically call hard gainers or people who are naturally thin or ectomorphs, typically speaking, people who are more naturally tall guys, is more for like tall guys. When putting on muscle on tall guys, you may gain 4 or 5 pounds and may not really notice a difference. But over time, when you start gradually making small incremental gains over time, you will begin to see a huge change in your body. And it's not going to happen overnight. It takes a little bit longer to build muscle this way. Some guys are more naturally inclined to build muscle, so they can work out as much as they want, how often they want, and they'll naturally get big. You got to think their genetics for that, or just maybe steroids. We have to consider that into the equation as well, because steroids will obviously keep you in an anabolic state a lot longer, which means that no matter how hard you train, you'll always recover 100% of the time. You don't really have to worry about other lifestyle factors. It's a cheat. It's cheating, because it makes it easier. That doesn't mean to say that, I do not I do not support the use of steroids at all, because I believe if we just follow these simple principles, we can naturally make the progress we want. And really, it's about being patient and really taking your time and being mindful about your movements, about your diet, about your sleep, about your thinking, about your hydration, and also about having a positive attitude, and having relaxation. So those 6 things, de-stressing, having a way, something to de-stress you, finding something that you enjoy, something that gets your stress levels down, positive thinking, water, proper training, proper nutrition, and sleep. Those last 3 I think are the most important, but the other 3 are definitely going to help create more of a well-balanced lifestyle for yourself that will give you progress, but it'll also help you in other areas. But primarily in terms of thinking of muscle building, the last 3 are going to be your big bang or your big buck lifestyle factors. So number 1 is proper training. So again, you want to find a weight that you're comfortable with and that you can train with. So ideally, I'd recommend between 5 to 10 repetitions. Sometimes more, sometimes you go 10 to 20 repetitions. Do not limit yourself to one mode of training. Try all modes of training and then find what works for you. So if you want to do 5x5, great. If you want to do a bodybuilding split, great. If you want to do a more high intensity athletic training from 10 to 20 reps, or just high rep training, lighter weight, great. Try all of it. Maybe the lightweight training will work for you and you're going to make gains. Or maybe the 5x5 training is what you need to stimulate your body for muscle growth. Or you may need to do work in the 8 to 12 rep range to get kind of like a moderate intense exercise, and that's great too. So remember, incorporating all different rep ranges, all different sets and reps is going to help you make progress. Don't be afraid to mix it up. Don't be afraid to just stick to one program because one person said, hey, I did 8x8 German volume training and I got 10 to 15 pounds of muscle. That's fantastic, but that worked for that person. That doesn't mean it's going to work for you. So you have to be really careful with selecting specific exercises that are just going to work for your body type, for your unique metabolic function, for your unique circumstances. It's not going to be a one-size-fits-all approach. It never was. It never will be. But if you pay attention to your body, over time, you'll discover that there's certain exercises, A, you enjoy doing, B, you're proficient at, and C, that you love to do. Pick those exercises that you love to do. Maybe kettlebells is your thing. I saw some guy on Instagram, I forget his name, but he's really jacked and really big. And he was doing kettlebell training and he looked fantastic. Like, he was lean, but he was muscular. He looked full, but that works for his unique body type. He's probably more like an endomesomorph, right? Endomorph, or endomesomorph, right? So he's kind of like a stocky, short, but muscular, right? That works for him. Fantastic. Some tall guys stick with just calisthenic workouts. I love calisthenics. That resonates for me. That's good for me. I want to get onto the rings. I'm working up to do ring training. That works for me for upper body training. But I also like 5x5. I also like kettlebells too. So for me, I like getting a mix of different exercises in my workout. Sometimes I'll even switch out from workout to workout. But you have to know the fundamentals to do that. Like, if you don't have any basic fundamentals, then it's going to be really hard to make progress. So really, that would be my next point, is B, focus on the fundamentals. Focusing on the fundamentals is going to help you a lot. Squat, deadlift, overhead press, bench, and rows. Those are probably the only 5 exercises you ever need. Some accessory movements that you can incorporate or to begin with: body weight squats, dips, and pull-ups, any kind of core exercises. Don't forget to incorporate some kind of twisting motion as well, either side to side or some cable twists. That's more of an athletic exercise, but it's going to help you not stay stuck in a singular focus, like up and down, horizontal, up and down, left and right. It's going to kind of help you move in other areas, and it's going to help you prevent injury as well. Because if your muscles that aren't working and twisting areas aren't working properly, you can get injured. That happened to me. I actually had a really bad lower back injury because I was doing heavy deadlifts, but I wasn't implementing any twisting motion. So when I went to try to show off lifting a heavy object, doing a twisting motion, I ended up injuring my back, and it sucked because it was very painful. It didn't happen right away. I could feel a minor injury, but then when I went to stretch at night because I was tired, boom, my back gave out, and I had pretty much nerve impulses going from the top of my head all the way to my lower body. I was pretty much almost paralyzed because the pain was unbearable. I was crying. I was like, calling my mom and saying, I need Tylenol, come help me. Please help me. Like, I was just crying like a baby. Like, I was in a lot of pain. So incorporate some twisting exercises. You can Google this lateral ball twist with like just your body weight to start, and then work your way up to progressing like 5, 10, 15, 20, 25 pounds, 35 pounds in the twist, so you can kind of get more of a stronger obliques and twisting motion. So that's number B, stick with the fundamentals. I might make this in a 2-part series because this is kind of hitting about 2:30. So I'm going to continue this video in another video, and I'll see you in the next one.